There has been no better character shift in modern day professional wrestling than that of Hangman Adam Page. At one point, he was AEW's chief protagonist and one of the many faces of the company, yet now he stands as a vengeful cowboy who is motivated by one thing and one thing alone, that being hate. And while this served him very well during his feud with Swerve Strickland and the unforgettable unsanctioned steel cage match at AEW All Out 2024, it seems as if the Hangman Page character at this point is lost, and it has gotten away from its key motivations. Whereas early on, you could say that he needed to be this heel, he needed to be motivated by this hate in order to vanquish his enemy in Swerve Strickland. Over the past couple of months, it seems as if the character is aimless and is no longer hateful for the sake of vengeance, but now is just hateful for the sake of being hateful. And in my opinion, AEW runs the risk of potentially ruining this part of the character, but I do think that there is a path forward. And in this video, we are going to take a look at where Hangman Page stands right now as a character and where he should go over the next couple of months, and why Kenny Omega plays a critical role in saving the lost cowboy. Before we get into that though, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. As stated before, the shift in Hangman Page's character occurred at the tail end of 2023. He had just come off a major loss against Swerve Strickland at Full Gear in an unforgettable Texas death match, and many fans expected to see the feud continue into 2024. However, it wasn't exactly clear what would happen, as Swerve at that point was an undeniable babyface who the fans wanted to cheer, whereas Hangman Adam Page, always a beloved figure in AEW, just wasn't the man of the moment. And as Swerve began to get more and more cheers from the crowd, AEW actually did a beautiful thing by working it into the story. And the story was that Hangman Adam Page, upon his return, was after one thing and one thing alone, and that is vengeance. Vengeance against Swerve Strickland, the man who beat him down into a bloody pulp, the man who embarrassed him by hanging him at Full Gear, and the man who broke into his house, threatened his child, and embarrassed him as a man. And he was also after revenge, however, against the fans. The same fans who cheered him on as he made his way to the AEW World title picture were the same exact fans who did the same thing to Swerve Strickland, despite how Swerve got there. Hangman Adam Page, he did everything the right way. Hangman Adam Page was the white meat babyface. He was the good guy. He did everything he possibly could to walk the righteous path. And even though he got to the mountaintop, after the fact, the very same fans that he entertained, that cheered him on, were the same fans who cheered on someone who in Hangman Page's eyes is a fraud. That being Swerve Strickland. Because Swerve didn't take the righteous path to the AEW World title picture. Swerve took a path of getting in his opponent's heads and doing so in a way that crosses many boundaries. Something that Hangman Page would never do, at least at that point. And this caused a major shift in the Hangman Page character. We saw him come out with a new beard, a new mustache, a new look, a new vibe, and an angry scowl that could be seen from space. Hangman Adam Page was a different man following his feud with Swerve Strickland at the tail end of 2023, and it showed going into Revolution, because Hangman had one mission and one mission alone, that being to prevent Swerve Strickland from becoming the AEW World Champion. And it wasn't until Hangman Page had to go away to deal with his family issues that Swerve was able to actually become the AEW World Champion. And upon his return, Hangman Page made one thing clear. By hook or by crook, he was going to ensure that he had his vengeance against Swerve Strickland. And everything at that point made sense. Hangman Page, in his mind, was the face. He was the righteous one. He felt like everything that Swerve has gotten, from the adulation of the fans to the accomplishments in the ring, were unjustified. And the louder the fans cheered him, the more that Hangman Page began to hate Swerve Strickland. And this shift in his character is truly one of the best swerves that AEW has ever done in their history. And it's something that many other wrestling promoters, even 10, 15 years from now, should take note of. But now at this point in 2025, it does seem like this character, the angry cowboy, is no longer needed and has overstayed its welcome. One of the best parts of a character on a professional wrestling show or any TV show is that they have a purpose. And for a very long time, Swerve Strickland, defeating him and ensuring that he was no longer a champion, that was Hangman's purpose. And when he took his kill shot by hitting Swerve Strickland in the head in that steel cage match at All Out and let out that visceral scream at the end of the match, Hangman Page had fulfilled his purpose. Hangman Page, the heel, Hangman Page, the angry, vengeful cowboy, had done what he needed to do. He finally got revenge and the respect back after Swerve Strickland broke into his house and threatened his family. And you could make the argument that that was the day the character probably should have died. And if we look back at the past couple of months of TV, I think that argument stands. While initially it was interesting to see where they went with Hangman Page as a heel, something that we hadn't seen for about 5-6 years, it did become at a point unnecessary, and it left many fans wondering a key question. Why is Hangman Page still angry? Is he angry because now he just sees the fans as evil and everyone else in his way as evil? That's fine and good, but then we also have to ask another key question. What is Hangman Page on his way to? What is the purpose? What is the guiding light? What is his vision? That is something that has yet to be explained on AEW TV over the past couple of months. Sometimes it's the AEW World Championship, which again is a very easy thing to go to. A World Championship is something that any person would want. However, it doesn't feel like Hangman Page needs to walk this path necessarily to get back to that picture. And it doesn't really make sense when we're talking about this character in the story. So it can't be that. And it also can't be the idea that Hangman Page is just now evil for the sake of being evil. That, especially for a character like Hangman Adam Page, who has been one of the best, most defined characters in modern professional wrestling, that can't be good enough. There has to be more. And where I think they run the risk of jumping the shark, so to speak, in this storyline is with the Christopher Daniels stuff. Because right now, as we speak, Hangman Adam Page is in the midst of a bit of a feud with Christopher Daniels that could see them feuding over the next couple of weeks. And with all due respect to Christopher Daniels, that shouldn't be what Hangman Page does. Because again, it feels like he is just treading water. It feels like we are just killing time. It feels like we are just waiting for Hangman Page to turn to a good guy again without anything necessary and purposeful in the meantime. And that has been the best part about the Hangman Page character, is that everything he does and has done in AEW has had a purpose. But I do think that AEW has an opportunity to find that purpose and redefine this character by bringing it back to its roots. And the best way to do that is by integrating Kenny Omega, the man who has played arguably as big a role as anyone in helping define the Hangman Page character, from their ascent as a tag team to their descent as foes in the latter part of 2021. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega are two men that will forever be tied both as characters and as real-life professional wrestlers. And with Kenny Omega returning to AEW, it offers an opportunity to help redefine Hangman Page once again and hopefully fix the character. Someone who is lost, someone who is just kind of waiting around to see what's next. The reality is there's only one person who can bring him home, and that is his former best friend, Kenny Omega. And there is a way that you can do that. You could do that by having Kenny Omega interrupt a battle or a match between Christopher Daniels and Hangman Page, looking at Hangman and just saying, what happened to you? What happened to my friend? What happened to the Cowboy? What happened to the Hangman that I knew? And there is a lot you could play into with that. And you could even do something purposeful, which would be a feud between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page that would end up leading to Hangman realizing his errors and realizing that this is not the path he's supposed to walk on. Or you could do a very quick fix and have Kenny Omega be the one to snap Hangman Page out of all of this. Because at the end of the day, there is a bigger enemy afoot. There is a bigger purpose that Hangman has the ability to serve. And that purpose is saving AEW. As of this recording, the Death Riders are running a roughshod through the entire company. And they own the AEW World Championship. The same AEW World title that both Kenny Omega and Hangman Page have held. The same AEW World Championship that both of them helped define. And they symbolically hold the entire company hostage in that respect. So, for Hangman Page, it's important for him to get out of this, to make sure that he finds his purpose, and Kenny Omega might be the guy to do it. And whether it's that or whether it's maybe doing it through a more convoluted storyline, at the end of the day, sometime very soon, we need to move past this, because one of the best things about any character, whether it be professional wrestling or otherwise, is that they don't overstay their welcome. There's a reason why WWE, at the height of the Shield, ended that group when they did, because they never wanted it to overstay its welcome. And that's why the legacy of the group has stood the test of time. And when you look at even stories that WWE is telling through the Bloodline, there's an argument to be made that they kind of jumped the shark at one point, because at certain points it lost its purpose. So in the end, it's important for them to make sure that Hangman Page has something that keeps him focused, because he has always been AEW's best character. And when you have something good like that, it is important for you to make sure it is always centered. Because whenever AEW is going through tough times, whether ratings are slipping or what have you, people are always going to look at the one character on that show that has always been good, and that character is Hangman Adam Page. Hopefully, they will do something about it. Hopefully, the Lost Cowboy will find his way home. But hey, I guess we'll see. Let me know in the comment section, though, what you guys think. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.